Welcome to the 2021 NRSL Digital Storm Cup Series preview show, which will hopefully not be an hour and 3 minutes long like the Jerky Pro one was. I'm once again joined by Vince Freeze. How you doing, Vince?
We're back. New day, new series, new regulations, new fundamentals. The same old process, guys, as yesterday. Got a lot of fun drivers to talk about. Let's get it on with our first one.
And he's driving the one car he's got 1 year of experience, and that is Diego Yepes making a return to the Digital Storm Cup Series. He drove the number 77 for Furniture Row back in 2018. Got a win in the summer Daytona race, 7 top 5s, 8 top 10s. He was 4th at the end of the regular season, but like we mentioned with some guys this past season in the Jerky Pro Truck Series, he would fail to get a top 10 in the playoffs, and he would end the season 16th in the points. But Yepes coming back to the Digital Storm Cup Series after some time away, and he'll be driving for the rebranded Chip Ganassi Racing, which Seth Cole Racing released the assets of following the 2020 season. They'll be sponsored by Monster Energy, Gear Wrench, and one other scheme, as you'll see multiple schemes for all these drivers in the Digital Storm Cup Series, but we're going to focus on their Daytona schemes here today in the preview show. This is one of the cars that will have to go through Go or Go Home Q and the dual races to make Daytona. We've got 50 teams participating in Digital Storm this year. So 8 people are going to go home every week, Vince. And for the first 5 races, a lot of the new teams are going to be the ones trying to queue their way in for those first 5 races. And some veteran drivers, in fact, that we'll get to later are a part of that list. But Yepes, the first one on our list with 1 year of experience, making a return. We'll jump straight to the other driver who is shockingly in the highest number, and that's the number 99 of Levi McIntyre, replacing Alexander Rowe at Roush Fenway Racing. McIntyre also has a win to his name. He won at Bristol Dirt in 2019. He got 1 win, 2 top 5s, 4 top 10s, and 2 poles in his rookie season, finishing 31st in the point standings. Between these 1 year drivers, Vince, who's going to be better?
Diego Yepes. And the only reason why, like I said, even though he did not have a 1920 season, I just think Diego Yepes this is literally off of pure experience here from other places. This guy's a fighter, and if you don't know who Diego Yepes, you will know he's a fighter. I just think with this 35 race season grind, different variety of track, that one team, the way the physics of the Cups cars are, I just think he'll get it together. I'm not going to discredit McIntyre. I think he could still be a shock, but I think Diego Yepes gets the upper hand, but not by much over McIntyre.
Yes, indeed, and don't mind me, I'm just trying to snack over here while we do this. We don't have any drivers with 2 years of experience coming back, but we do have 2 drivers with 3 years of experience who missed the 2020 season returning. Let's start with William Brock. So William Brock did drive from 2017 to 2019. He has gotten 0 wins to his name, 5 top 5s, 9 top 10s in 2017, 26 in the points, 6 top 5s, 12 top 10s, and a pole in 2018, 11th in the points. He made the playoffs without a win. And in 2019, his last season of competition, just 2 top 5s, finished 41st in the point standing. So Brock trying to turn things around here. He'll be driving for what will be Kyle Busch Motorsports, which has jumped up to join the Digital Storm Cup Series. So KBM is to Joe Gibbs, just as Junior Motorsports is to Hendrick. So a bit of an alliance thing going on there. And then the other driver will be returning Daytona 500 champion. Or actually, no, he's not a Daytona 500 champion. I'm sorry. That's a mistake on my part. Zach Flickinger coming back. He won at Talladega in 2017 and then Dover in 2018. So he made the playoffs in both of those seasons, finished 14th in points in both of those seasons. And then in 2019, he didn't make the playoffs because he didn't win a race. But Zach Flickinger had 4 top 5s, 8 top 10s, and 3 pole positions in 2019. And he finished 17th in the point standings. I mean, Vince, to me, I think Zach Flickinger is going to do better right off the bat compared to William Brock because he's won before. But, I mean, what do you think?
You know what? I'm going to say this. It's going to be close, though. It's the same thing as the Yepes McIntyre battle. Flickinger will have the upper hand in the beginning due to the consistency, I think. But like I said, in this series, all it takes is that one win, right? And because of that element, all Brock really needs is a win, and Flickinger gets a win, and then they settle in the playoffs. That's the great dynamic about this series. I'm going to go with Flickinger just off of pure consistency and the fact that he doesn't have a 41st in the old points column. I'm just going to go Flickinger, and I think the Ford camp too. They'll step it up. Whereas the Truck Series, Toyota might have the upper hand. I think the Ford camp will definitely be stepping up here in his DSCS series.
Flickinger will have to qualify his way in those first 5 races as William Flickinger did not perform well enough to be top 30 in points. We'll get right over to the guys returning from last year, and that starts with Amanda Evans. We mentioned, again, I'll just mention it briefly. Amanda Evans, formerly Rob Evans, in transition. I'm hoping this is the last time we'll mention it, and we'll just start treating them as female or woman or whatever she's, I guess. I'm sorry, is the preferred term here. But so Amanda Evans and Allison Rayne, who we've mentioned is formerly Johnny Gardner, in the transition stages, teammates. And yeah, so we will refer to them as women now, and we'll get to Daytona, and we'll just start referring to them like everything is good and normal, like they want it to be. So anyway, Amanda Evans finished 41st in the point standings in 2020. She has won a race in both of her seasons. She got a win in 2019 at Talladega. And Vince, I think I forgot if she won again at Talladega in 2020 or not. I should have brought the wins list up from last year, but I did not.
I think the first time around, I believe. I think I'm not. The second time I know it was Turner. This first time maybe I can't remember.
It might have been Armory Digital. I might be forgetting, but anyway, it doesn't really matter anyway. I know it was 2 super speedways. But so 9th in points in 2019 and then 41st last year. Stats kind of line up the same. It's just not as good of a season for Amanda in 2020 compared to 2019. So hopefully she can step it up at EGM in 2021. We jump over to the driver who finished 40th in the points, and that's 2019 Jerky Pro Truck Series champ Logan York. This 95 car was a Chevy last year under Junior Motorsports. Now it is a Toyota under KBM. Logan York staying with the change, staying in the 95. York had a top 5, 6 top 10s, and a pole. Now York's season started off relatively well. Within the first 6 races, he was top 10 in points, and then it all went downhill. So we'll see if Logan York can rebound in his sophomore season. So to be driving for a Toyota now instead of a Chevy. On to the next driver. We've got another sophomore driver, and that is Peter Onjak. Onjak makes the jump from Roush Fenway to JTG, who is attempting to make a return here in the Cup Series. And we'll see what Onjak can do in the 37. His rookie campaign, he had no wins, 3 top 5s, 6 top 10s, and he finished 36th in the point standing. So a lot of room for improvement for Onjak this year. And I mean, even if he were to finish 36th in points again, Vince, we're going from 42 cars entering every week to 50. So the percentage gain there would still exist.
Absolutely. And I think one thing to note about Peter Runge, he's definitely an interesting character in the garage. But now, listen, out of those 3, before we move on to Kev Shearer, Ferrante, and Shelton as the next group, I'm not going to make any prediction as far as who I think is going to be better, because I think they're all going to improve. And a lot of these guys and gals will definitely improve because it's the new package, the way the new format works. It's going to be more about improvement, especially if you're a sophomore driver.
All right, and without further ado, we'll get to Kev Shearer, trying to keep this ball rolling. Kev Shearer will be once again sponsored by Starcom Fiber as he jumps back with the familiar sponsor to him. Starcom Racing will be running in 2021. Kev drove for Hendrick last season in the 24 after moving from Roush after 2019. So Kev has driven for a different team in all 3 seasons of his career. 2018, it was with Go Fast Penny Enterprises, which is now Evans Gardner Motorsports. He finished 22nd in the points in that season. He got a win at Pensacola in 2019, made the playoffs, finished 8th in points. Last year, just 1 top 5, 7 top 10s, 34th in the standings. And at the end of the year, was making a bit of a charge to try and jump the 48 as, Hendrick brought in some new numbers for some of their new drivers, shrunk to a 3-car op. And then Junior Motorsports was left as a 2-car op, and they had to make the choice of what numbers they wanted to keep. And they ended up keeping 48 and 88 because those were the 2 that finished higher in the points compared to the 24, which was driven by this man here, Kev Shearer. Next on the list is that 48 car driven by Alex Ferrante. Ferrante, like Kev, is a 3-year veteran who had his rookie season in 2018. Ferrante has yet to win a race. 2018, he had 3 top 5s, 8 top 10s, finished 33rd in the points. Came close to a win at Martinsville, if memory serves. 2019, he had 5 top 5s and 8 top 10s and finished 19th in the standings. And then last year, once again, 33rd in the points, 3 top 5s, 7 top 10s. So we'll see how Ferrante can do once again in this 48 machine for what will be now Junior Motorsports instead of Hendrick. That brings us to the defending Daytona 500 winner who has had a ton of success at Daytona in the past, and that is Jessica Shelton, another 2018 rookie driver. 2018, we saw her finish 35th in the points. 2019, 20th in the points. In 2020, she got the win at Daytona, which she had been trying to get for a while. I believe in 2018, she came really close. In 2019, she came really close. I forget which year she ran out of fuel, staying out at the end, but she had the strongest car in both of those races. Finally got the deal done in 2020 for S3 Motorsports. She finished the year, though, 31st in the points and did not make the playoffs. But 1 win, 2 top 5s, 6 top 10s. We'll see if Shelton can improve in what will be her 4th season. So, Vince, summary of those 3 drivers right there between Shelton, Ferrante, and Shearer, all driving Chevys.
All driving Chevys, all looking for a 4th year. Once again, I just think it's going to be all about improvement. Now, I'm going to get to Kev Shearer in a bit because Kev Shearer's, speed predictions below. But Ferrante and Shelton, we know Daytona has some magic. Ferrante, he seems to be getting some momentum after beating Shearer for that Ryan away. I don't know. This is going to be interesting. I don't really have a solid prediction, but if I had to go out of those 3, I just think Ferrante, despite 1933, I think they'll all improve, but I think he's going to beat them points-wise. But like I said, stay tuned with Kev Shearer. I have something for him.
On to one of the most experienced drivers in series history, and that is Dylan Young for Team Penske. And when I say most experienced, I mean in terms of track time, not wins. Dylan has won 3 Jerky Pro Truck Series races in his career, and he has also won a single Digital Storm Cup Series win. We saw him finally get it done at Auto Club in 2020 after he came close at Richmond in 2018. But Dylan Young's best season is still the 2018 season, where he had 3 top 5s and 9 top 10s, where he finished 17th in the points. Last year he got the win, 3 top 5s, 7 top 10s, 29th in the points. And an interesting statistic about Dylan Young is he has gotten the pole at least once every season. 1 pole each year from 2017 to 2019, and 3 poles last year. We'll see if Dylan Young can turn that barrage of pole position awards into some more wins in 2021. I really think Dylan Young has a shot at going off after, Samet Oskin, who we'll talk about later, got Team Penske their second Cup Series championship. We go from one NRSL veteran to another, and that is Charles Sanford for S3 Motorsports. By the way, Dylan Young, 29th in the points last year. Charles Sanford, 27th in the points last year. Now, Sanford has not won a race since 2018. He got a win at Watkins Glen in 2017 and a win at Texas in 2018. And, 27th in the points last year. Didn't win a race, 2 top 5s, 9 top 10s. And, he hasn't really been up to qualifying form since 2018. He got 2 poles in 2017 and 3 poles in 2018, but has not started from the pole in the last 2 seasons. We'll see what Charles can do to get back to victory lane here in 2021. Next up is Cole Deaver, who had a bit of a slump, to say the least, in 2020. Deaver won 3 races in his rookie campaign and made the Final 4, finishing second in the points in 2018. In 2019, he won 2 races and finished third out of Final 4 drivers. Last year, no wins, 26th in the points, 3 top 5s and 9 top 10s. So out of those 3 drivers, Vince, what do you think?
Yeah, this is going to be a Sanford and Young experience battle. Don't disrespect Deaver there, but I think Deaver just needs to get back on his feet to get back to where he needs to be. I'm going to say Young. That guy's got pole pace like for days. I mean, if you've seen Dylan Young qualify, he knows what to do. And I think this is the year, like you were saying, he turns it around, becomes more consistent, gets the strategy right. I'm not going to say Dylan Young needs to get 20 wins, but I mean, he can get 1 or 2 and then make it happen when it counts in the playoffs. But Young will be a championship contender. I have a good feeling about it. And I also think watch out for Dylan Young when we get to those short races, right, where the laps are not a lot, where track position's everything. Maybe like a road course or 2 when he gets up on the front. Watch out, D. Young.
Next up is the 53 driven by Keith Rich. He's your reigning 2020 Jerky Pro Truck Series champion. And Bulldog Motorsports making the jump back to Dodge after a year with Subarus. And Keith Rich's number remains the same, number 53. His rookie season, he had 7 top 5s and 9 top 10s, and he finished 23rd in the point standings, as he got just 1 win down in Jerky Pro Truck Series in 2020, which was the finale, and it gave him that championship. We'll see how Keith does for Bulldog in his sophomore season. Another driver entering their sophomore season is the driver who was the hottest to end 2020, and that was Jesse Turner. Turner got 2 wins in the last 10 races at Dega, and then I forgot what the other one was.
Finale. He won the finale at Texas.
He won the finale at Texas. Yes, that's right. And he had a great battle with Andrew Rich at Homestead, too. So Turner makes the jump from the 16 Roush Fenway car to the 17. Turner had 2 wins, 7 top 5s, 11 top 10s, and a pole. And he finished the year off 21st in points. If you took away the playoffs, he would have been 11th in points after being 29th at the end of the regular season. Jesse Turner going on a tear in the last 10 races is an understatement, to say the least. We expect this NOS Energy Ford to hopefully do just as good at the end of 2020 into 2021. We'll have 2 more drivers for this group. One of them is another 4-year veteran. That's Nico Tringali. No longer driving for Red Bull Racing. Tringali making the jump over to Hendrick. It'll be his first time in a Chevy since 2017. Now, Tringali's career has been majorly inconsistent. 2017, 32nd in the points. 2018, 39th in the points. 2019, he went off. He got 3 wins, 7 top 5s, and 11 top 10s, and he finished 4th out of the final 4 drivers. Last year, no wins, but he was still very consistent with 7 top 5s and 13 top 10s, plus 2 pole positions, and he finished the year 20th in the point standings. Another driver with him that was very consistent is the 8, formerly the 29, driven by Sebastian Kugelon, making a return to Richard Childress Racing. Kukulon won at the Dodge Motordrome in 2019 and finished 12th in the points for Bulldog Motorsports. And last year he got a win, 2 top 5s and 9 top 10s for RCR. Getting that win at Memphis where Andrew Rich was involved in an accident. Kukulon finished the season 19th in the standings. So, Vince, out of those 4 guys, we have 2 sophomores, a third-year driver, and then Tringali, who's making his 5th straight season of competition.
Rich needs to adjust to the package. Tringali needs to adjust to the Audi. Or was it Audi or Chevy, right?
Yeah, that would be adjusting from the Audi.
Yeah, excuse me. Adjust from the Audi to the Chevy. So I think those guys need a little time. It's going to come down to Turner Kukulon. I really think Kukulon, though. Believe it or not, I know Turner was on a tear, but because Turner, I feel like with his package in the beginning of the season going to struggle a little bit, you really can't come on the second half of the season unless you win. And I think with the short tracks on the schedule, we know Kukulon's always a threat. Dodge Motordrome, Memphis. I think he'll get there, but I'm going with Kukulon by a minute. Don't be surprised if it's a flip flop, though, because Turner and Kukulon are very similar, 19th, 21st in the standings. One was hot in the beginning of the year, one was hot at the end of the year, kind of tailed off in the middle. Similar tape could happen, or maybe we just see something completely different. Maybe those guys are not hot in the year and they heat up in the middle. But I'm going to go Kukulon, but not by much.
That leaves us with 2 drivers as far as non-playoff drivers returning. And next one up is Nate Rogers, who, I'm sorry, my throat is getting really dry here. It's getting hard to talk. But Nate Rogers, for the longest time, looked like he had the regular season championship in the bag. And then he lost it to Samet Oskin, and that prevented Nate from making the playoffs without a win, as he needed to be the points leader at the end of the regular season to be a playoff driver. But nonetheless, 8 top 5s, 11 top 10s, and a pole for Nate, 18th in the point standings. 2019 was a much better year for him, where he had 2 wins, and he was 5th in the points. Nate also won at Richmond in 2017 and finished 12th in the points that year. His worst season was 2018, where he was 37th in the points. That was the first year at Red Bull. Red Bull 37th and 39th in the points that year in 2018. They really stepped it up in 2019, to say the least. But out of victory lane for Red Bull last year. Now Red Bull will have some rookie drivers. We'll get to those guys later. But Nate, jumping back to Chevy with Nico. They've been paired up their entire career. But for the first time in their entire career, they're going to have another teammate in the form of Jonathan Zorlin, who we'll talk about later. But Nate, 18th in the points last year. Pretty good consistent season nonetheless. Just has to find the way back to victory lane. Another driver in that grouping would have to be Allison Rayne, who the prediction was going to have a slump in 2020. But I never thought with that prediction that she wouldn't make the playoffs. Allison Rayne 2017 won 3 races, 7 top 5s, 11 top 10s, second in the points, runner-up to Caleb Hoffman. 2018-2019, she won the championship both years. 3 wins, 10 top 5s, 16 top 10s in 2018. 2 wins, 6 top 5s, 13 top 10s, and a pole in 2019. 2020, we saw her finish second at Indianapolis. She had 9 top 5s, 12 top 10s, and a pole, and she was 17th in the point standings to end the year, best of the non-playoff drivers. But Indianapolis and I think it might have been Atlanta was where she came close to a win. I might be mixing up that second track. But really was a shocker that Allison did not win a race or make the playoffs in 2020. Vince, any comment on those 2 drivers?
Yeah, I think Allison Rayne, that's shocking, right, from a 2-time champion, but I think she'll turn it around. As far as Nate, I mean, what can we say about Nate? The man was the most consistent guy last year, but he just didn't have the time without a playoff system. He would have been up there, but with the playoffs, just never found that win. I got to go to Allison Rayne though, because if Rogers can't get the win, and especially with this season really being about once again wins, just one, and consistency a little bit, I just think Allison Rayne. There's no way you can keep a 2-time champion down. She'll come back, have the better season.
Going to start off our returning drivers who made the playoffs with this man, known to have a passion for hating lap drivers or lap down cars, and that is Zachary Fitzwater Sr. Fitzwater is a 4-year veteran driving for Evans Gardner Motorsports. He's gotten a win every year since 2018 when he won 2 races. Got a win in both 2019 and 2020. He finished 15th in the playoffs last year, but it wasn't as good of a year, honestly, as 2019 was to him, where he was 11th in the point standings. But 1 win, 4 top 5s, 7 top 10s. So Fitzwater, with 4 career wins, looking to up that total in 2021. That brings us to his teammate, Quentin Moore, who has 3 years of experience. Quentin Moore with a win in 2018 and last year at Pig Stadium. Quentin finished the playoffs 13th in the points. 1 win, 3 top 5s, 8 top 10s, and a pole between these two drivers. Vince, what do you think?
The good battle of good friends and Q-Man, as they like to say, versus Mr. Fitzwater. I can't stand lap cars himself. Listen, Fitzwater had a lot of missed opportunities. We know he's famous for that incredible, massive, big one at Pensacola and a missed opportunity at Memphis last year when he had a pick call go wrong. Expect him on the short tracks with the Nazareth win. I think he bests Quentin Moore, but like with this format we're going to talk about soon, it's all about the win, right? And I think Fitzwater will just have a little bit more consistency. But don't be surprised if these cars remain equal throughout the season, and we both see them hover around top 15, if not top 10 at certain events.
Next up is Adam Flickinger, another sophomore driver. Adam driving for the family team of Zach Flickinger Racing. Adam got 1 win, 5 top 5s, 8 top 10s, and 2 poles in his rookie campaign, finishing 12th in the point standings. That 1 win came at North Wilkesboro. Next up is Ace Rogers, a Bulldog Motorsports driver. Ace will be entering his 3rd year competition. His rookie year in 2019, 3 top 5s, 7 top 10s, 23rd in the points. Last year, he got a win at Richmond, 2 top 5s, 10 top 10s, 10th in the point standings in the playoffs. So Ace, pretty good 2nd year for him. He makes the jump from the 64 Subaru on the team to a number 63 Dodge. As Bulldog Motorsports, all their cars now have a 3 in the number, all of which are the 2nd number in the double-digit number. We're going to get to one more driver to compare with these two that we've just mentioned, and that is another sophomore driver, Priya McShane. McShane stays with Storthouse Racing, but makes the jump to the new number 41 car as the team jumps back to Ford from Chevy. McShane had 1 win, which was at the Dodge Motordrome, if my memory is correct. 4 top 5s, 12 top 10s, a pole, and she finished 9th in the points. Between these two sophomores and the 2-year veteran of Ace Rogers, Vince, what do you think?
Yeah, this is interesting, right? I think the way I see this is Priya McShane could be hint, see predictions below one of our things we're going to talk about. Ace needs to be a little bit more aggressive. I noticed him. He was aggressive with the pickup, but I noticed he needs to be a little bit more aggressive at certain places than last year. So I'm going to go with a little bit of an upset here. Not really, but a little bit. I think Flickinger, because I just think with his consistency, even though he's only going to be a 2nd-year man, I don't know. I just think he's got something. I think he'll go with that, and we'll go from there.
That leaves us with 5 drivers. We're going to group up the next 2 and then the last 3. So let's get to the stapled, famous driver of Bulldog Motorsports, I guess you could call him, and that is Andrew Rich. He'll be sponsored completely by Rays Energy in 2021, and we'll see Rays on the other Bulldog Motorsports cars as well here to there. But Andrew Rich missed 2019 after an injury during the 2018 offseason. So Andrew went from winning 8 races in 2018 to missing the 2019 season. But he came back. He won 4 races, 8 top 5s, 10 top 10s. but his playoff luck was bad again. And, honestly, Andrew Rich could have been in the Final Four had it not been for getting crashed out by lap down shenanigans at Memphis. But Andrew still came home 7th in the points with a pole on top of all that success. So he is the all-time winningest driver in the series with 12 wins. And only one other driver is in the double digits in all-time wins. We'll get to that driver later. But let's get to the other driver who failed to make the Final Four. And this man's success is worth noting, and that is Jonathan Zorlin. Zorlin will be entering his 5th year of competition. Now, Zorlin got a win in 2017 for Chip Ganassi. 2 top 5s, 8 top 10s, finished 9th in the points. 2018, he got 3 wins in his first year at Hendrick with 5 top 5s, 9 top 10s. He finished 3rd out of the Final 4 drivers. 2019, he got 3 wins in the first 5 races. 3 wins on the season, 6 top 5s, 12 top 10s, 2nd in the Final 4 drivers. And then this past season, 1 win, which was at Kansas, 3 top 5s, 10 top 10s, 2 pole positions, and 5th in the point standing. So 3 very important things to note about Jonathan Zorlin, who has won 8 career Digital Storm Cup Series races. Zorlin is one of 2 drivers to win on every type of track. The other driver, Alex Gray, is not returning. We'll get to that later. He is the only driver to win every season in his career. I believe that is correct, actually. No, wait, that is not correct. There is one other driver who has won every race. Zorlin is one of 2 drivers to win a race every season of his career. But Zorlin is the only driver to finish top 10 in points every season in his career and in series history. So, I mean, Vince, the history behind Jonathan Zorlin, how can you compare him to Andrew Rich, who has 4 more wins on the career total?
So this is like the heavyweight battle, right? Going into this ring, this octagon. This is the 2 guys you want to see the square off. I don't know how I'm going to call this one, man. I don't know. All-time wins leader versus Mr. Consistency. I'm going to go with Rich only because of the wins. I know Zorlin, I believe he won at Kansas last year. Yep, at night on a nice pit call and some luck. But I think Rich is just going to have more of that big hitter mentality. I mean, if he didn't get wrecked out at Memphis and Kuklon stole one, he probably would have been in the Final Four. Rich, but by like millimeters. I don't think this is going to be a runaway. It's too close to call. Those guys are probably the 2 best non-championship 4 guys that we saw from last year.
And like you said, out of the best non-Final Four guys. So that leaves us with the Final Four guys. 3 of them are returning. Alex Gray is the one guy who's not. But so let's start with Alexander Rowe. Interesting thing about Alexander Rowe is he missed the 2019 Cup season to run trucks instead. Alexander Rowe, though he hasn't been in every season of Cup Series competition, he has won at least 1 race in all of his competition. 1 win in 2017 at Atlanta, a win at 2018 at Provo, which is a road course. And then Rowe got 2 wins last year at Indianapolis and Atlanta. So the man is good at Atlanta. 15th in the points in 2017, 21st in 2018, and then 4th out of the Final 4 drivers last year. 2 wins, 6 top 5s, 12 top 10s, and a pole for Alexander Rowe. He makes the jump from Roush Fenway Racing back to Stewart-Haas Racing, who he drove for in 2017 and 2018. Next up is Seth Cole. He is the other driver to have a win in every year of competition. 3 wins in 2017, 2 in 2018, 1 in 2019, and a series-tied leading 4 wins in 2020. 30th in the points in 2017, 4th in the points in 2018, 22nd in 2019, and then 3rd this past season. 4 wins, 8 top 5s, 11 top 10s, and 3 poles in 2020. That's another thing Seth Cole is known for, starting on the pole. 2 poles in 2017, 4 poles in 2018, and 1 pole in 2019. Overall, 10 poles to his career for Seth Cole, which I'm pretty sure is the most all-time by a long shot. But so Seth Cole driving for his own team, looking to do well again here in the Digital Storm Cup Series, this time in 2021. And that brings us to our defending champion for Team Penske, Samet Oskin. So Allison Rayne has won 2 championships to her name. Oskin's only got the 1, but the 22 car and Penske have 2 championships to their name. So crazy how in 4 years we've had only 2 different cars winning championships. So let's get to Oskin's career. He's been in the series every year just like Seth Cole, but Oskin's only got a win from Sebring in 2017 and a win at the Spring Texas race last year. He was 21st in the points in 2017, 32nd and 29th in 2018 and 2019 respectively, and then he won the championship this past season. 1 win, 9 top 5s, and 17 top 10s, which is a series tying record with Andrew Rich, who had 17 top 10s in 2018. Oskin never started on the pole. His average starting position was 22nd, but his average finishing position was 15th. Vince, can you even pick one out of our 3 returning Final Four guys?
This is like I talk about the heavyweight fight, right? This is the same thing. Just add another person in the ring like a tag team here. I'm gonna go with it. I'm sure Seth Cole's probably going to say, "Bang the door, let's get a road course as the finale." But I got Seth Cole, and here's why. I just think Seth Cole, he's going to put the pieces together. We already know his road course prowess. We already know the man that knows how to qualify. And those races where track position means everything, especially at road courses. Once you put him out there, it's like he never leaves it. Now, Oskin, on the other hand, though, was Mr. Consistency. I say Oskin drops a little bit in that consistency because it's got to be. I mean, what is he going to do? Get 20? I mean, he needs to get some astronomical number. I say Seth Cole takes some of that thunder away. Rowe, I just think is a transition year. He needs to get back to what he learned from at Roush and then go back to SHR and try to develop a little bit more. He's another year away. But out of those 3, I'm going to go with Seth Cole. But once again, it's going to be a Cole Oskin show with Rowe not too far behind. Put those guys in the playoffs. Mark it.
And you think about it, you mentioned that Seth Cole's the road course master. We know he's the road course master. He's won, let's see here. Out of his, I failed to mention this too, Seth Cole has 10 career wins in the Digital Storm Cup Series. And out of those 10 wins, 6 of them are on road courses, which he won 2 road course races in a row in the playoffs just this past season. He won at Papyrus to make it to the round of 8, and then the very next week he won at VIR to make the Final 4. And, Seth Cole on a road course is the same as to Andrew Rich and Allison Rayne on the intermediates. Andrew has 9 intermediate wins. Allison has 7. We really haven't seen a super speedway or a short track king yet in the terms of somebody getting 3 or more short track wins. I think we've had a few drivers win at short tracks twice. I think Fitzwater is one of them. And I know for super speedways, we've seen both Amanda Evans and Andrew Rich win 2 super speedway races. But, we don't have those masters like Seth Cole on a road course or Andrew Rich and Allison on an intermediate that we do at shorties and super speedways. But it's crazy to think about. If we had a road course for a finale, I think Seth Cole would be the class of the field if we were in the Final 4 format.
Yeah, that's why I said I think he was trying to convince those officials, hey guys, let's get one of those road courses like VIR or something. But even without that, let's continue on here with the rookies and drivers now returning segment. And it should be an interesting veteran. Out of the veterans, Nick, I still think we'll see a lot of surprises, and with that new format we'll talk about, we'll wait for predictions from that.
All right, it's time to look at the rookie class for the 2021 NRSL Digital Storm Cup Series. We're going to start with Lane Sanders filling in the seat that Priya left open after Priya jumped to the new car for Stewart-Haas Racing. Lane will drive the number 4 in 2021. Taking over the 6 from LJ Toledo will be Scott Roush. He'll be attempting to make it into the field through Go or Go Home qualifying. Will Parrish, we mentioned, is also driving down in Jerky Pro for Stewart-Haas. He's driving for Joe Gibbs up in Cup. He takes over the seat left vacant by Joshua Sekuli. Sam Young was not originally going to be driving this number 12 car, but he is now. And Sam Young will attempt to make his rookie campaign in Cup as successful as his 2020 campaign in Jerky Pro was, as he continues to look for a Jerky Pro title. Danielle Bouchard will drive the number 13 for Germain Racing. This is a team making its first season of competition since Seth Cole took them to 3 wins in 2017. We'll see how Bouchard does running double duty. He's in both the Cup and the Truck Series. Edwin Justice will drive the number 18 for Joe Gibbs Racing. He replaces Jose Mills in that seat, as Trey Smith will replace Casey Nanico and the number 20 for Joe Gibbs Racing. RJ Bishop will take over the seat left vacant by Austin Colano, who was one of our best rookie drivers who didn't make the playoffs. We'll see how Bishop does, as like another few other drivers, he is down there tackling Jerky Pro Truck competition. Landon Smith Jr. will drive the 28 for new team Yates Racing. If all things go well for this team, they could see an expansion in the future. Mentioned in Jerky Pro preview show, Derek Hamill running double duty for Go Fast Racing. He'll drive the 32 in the Digital Storm Cup Series as well, but he will have to go through Go or Go Home Q, just like Landon Smith Jr. and a few others. Front Row Motorsports had a ton of success in 2020 with Tyler Fink and Matthew Logan. That got them sponsorship from Bang Energy, and they expanded to a 3-car operation. Logan Williams, Christian Vargas, and Osmain Hamid will drive for Front Row Motorsports in 2021. Vargas is the only one who will have to go through Go or Go Home Q for the first 5 races, unless he is not top 30 in the points. Richard Petty Motorsports makes the jump from Ford to Chevy. Replacing Wes McCoy in the 43 will be Foster Henderson. Replacing Jeff Toledo in the 19 will be Stephen Colon, which will be a number 44 car. Colon is running in the Jerky Pro Truck Series for GMS Racing. Matthew Rodriguez, that's the NNSCRA Matthew Rodriguez, for those unfamiliar with the fact that there are 2 in the community. He'll be driving for Seth Cole Racing alongside another rookie teammate, Samuel Dyer. So those 2 with no experience running in the Cup Series. Matt Rod is locked into the first 5 races. Dyer will have to go through Go or Go Home Q. Red Bull Racing, both of their cars are top 30 in points. They're locked in for the first 5 races. Laura Chung driving the 83 down in trucks, which is a Chevy, will drive the 83 up in Cup, which is a Toyota. She takes over for Nate Rogers, as Cara Bell will take over for Nico Tringali. James Ellison, likely one of the favorites for Rookie of the Year, will be driving for Junior Motorsports in 2021 for his Rookie Cup campaign. We'll see if Ellison can transfer some of the success from Jerky Pro up to the Cup level. Sorry, and the only other rookie is Colt Hudson, another driver running in both series, veteran of the Truck Series, as he dips his feet in the Cup competition. So those are our rookie drivers. Drivers not returning include James Shelley with 4 years of experience, Corey Williams, Austin Colano, rookies from last year, Alex Gray, another driver with 4 years of experience, Ryan Brommer with 2, Tyler Markle, LJ Toledo also with 2, Jeff Toledo, Wes McCoy, as mentioned, were rookies who won races, Joshua Sekuli, Jose Mills, 2 years of experience, same with William Flickinger, And then Casey Nanico, Carter Friesen, Tyler Fink, and Matthew Logan, all rookies not returning. And Fink and Logan, multiple race winners over the course of the season. Shocking that they did not return after their performances in 2020. It's time for predictions, as we did in the Jerky Pro Truck Series preview show. Me and Vince have some questions to go over and give you our predictions for the 2021 NRSL Digital Storm Cup Series season. That first one is, will there be a veteran or rookie win majority? We've got a 35 race schedule ahead of us, and I predict that the veterans are going to win 25 of those races. To you, Vince.
I only got 22. I think with the schedule a little bit different than the JPTS, there's a little bit more variety, which we'll get to in a second. I think the rookies will show up, and like I said, with those track position races, some of the vets qualify bad. 22 will be an even number, in my opinion.
Okay, next up we've got veteran or rookie champion. No brainer to me. It's going to be a veteran, just like Jerky Pro.
Across the board, vet, champion, not much really to say on that one.
Next question is, how many playoff drivers will we have? Now, you're probably wondering, how many playoff drivers? What do you mean by that? Well, 2021, the playoff format has changed. The top 10 in points at the end of the regular season will automatically make the playoffs, and then any drivers with wins from 11th to 25th in the points will also make the playoffs, which means we could have anywhere from 10 to 25 drivers in the playoffs. We'll get to more on the format in a minute, but for me, Vince, I'm thinking 15 playoff drivers in 2021.
The standard 16. I think we'll, even though we change up everything, I still think somehow we'll find a 16 guy and gal field. I don't know. I just feel like that's been the trend, and we'll stay the trend.
Next question is, how many playoff drivers win races in the playoffs and qualify for the championship finale race? So, the way this works is we take our playoff drivers, whether it's 15 or 16, like me and Vince are predicting here. If there are 2 or more playoff drivers who win races in the first 9 races, they qualify for the championship finale race. So we could have as few as 2 drivers, which is the minimum to even have the finale in the first place, or 9 drivers, which could be, 9 of the 15 or 16 or whatever drivers each win a race. So honestly, it's just a prediction of how many guys will be going at it at Chicagoland at season's end. And I'm going to go kind of in the middle again here with a prediction of 5 finale drivers.
Yeah, it's almost similar tactics to what I was saying with the 16. I still think we'll have a Final Four, a different type of Final Four in the finale. I think 1/4 of my field will get in, 25%, and 33% of your field of the 15 will get in. It's about even.
Oh, yes, indeed. So now the prediction of champion. Who do we think will be the 2021 Digital Storm Cup Series champion? I believe my prediction last year was Andrew Rich. Or it was Andrew Rich or Seth Cole, I think. This year, my prediction goes to the man that we've been sitting on screen, and that's Dylan Young. I think Dylan Young's going to have the year of his career, and I think Dylan Young will be your 2021 NRSL Digital Storm Cup Series champion. Vince, what do you think?
Stealing some of those vibes from you last year. I'm going Andrew Rich. I just think the way he's been running, the wins that matter more in the playoffs. Listen, the regular season is the regular season. When it's clutch time, Andrew Rich is your guy. That's the reason why I got Andrew Rich winning the 2021 chip.
Next question is sophomore slump. And I hate to say it, but I'm going to go with Priya McShane. I know she won a race. She did really good last year, made the playoffs, but I'm going to go as far as to say she doesn't win a single race in the 2021 season. Vince, what do you think?
Same exact thoughts, man. I just don't know if Priya has the mentality to get it done. Now, if she does get the win, it's going to be hard to repeat that 9th place in points. I think she's going to just be more of one of those people that hovers from the 10th to 20th range all season. Like I said, could get a shock win, but I don't see it. Priya McShane's my slump of the 2021 season.
Now, they've added us a question here compared to Jerky Pro. So before we get to Rookie of the Year predictions, we've got the Resurgence question. Now, the Resurgence question is about a driver who has done good before in their career but did not do good in 2020. My prediction going into 2020 was for James Scheller to be the Resurgence driver, and we saw him win a race and perform very well. My prediction for 2021 is Charles Sanford. We've seen Sanford win races before. He hasn't gotten a win since 2018, but I think they're going to get their stuff back together in 2021, and I think we'll see Charles Sanford have a much better season compared to 2020.
I went a little different approach. Kev Shear had some tough luck at Hendrick and Junior. That whole program had a little kick in the where. And I really think Kev Shear with this new reignited Starcom 00. I think it's a feel good story. Doesn't have to get second in points, but I think he'll improve from his 34th in points last season, and it'll be a feel good story throughout the year to watch. And he'll be my resurgence driver of 2021.
Final question is who's going to be the Rookie of the Year? I'm going to go with James Ellison. He's got that Jerky Pro Truck Series experience, had a heck of a season last year, and I think Ellison's going to be our Rookie of the Year.
Same song, but totally different version of way. I got Sam Young, a lot of Jerky Pro Truck Series experience. Wasn't supposed to be in this car. Kind of like one of those sub fill-ins, put me in coach type of drivers. I feel like he'll shock people. However, I do agree with you. Ellison and Young, I think, are going to be the two. There's some other ones out there, but watch those two. But Young barely edges Ellison by that much.
So that does it for our predictions. Now let's get to that schedule. Opening at Daytona as always. But there's a little bit of a break for Jerky Pro. We're going to stay in Florida for a week, and we're going to go to Sebring for the first time since 2017. Got Vegas back on the schedule, Auto Club, Sandy Flats. Provo's making its first return since 2018. Denver, Pocono, Motordrome, Meadowlands will make a return for the first time since 2019. Bristol Paved, another track coming back since 2017. Michigan, same thing. Kentucky, same thing. We'll still be going to the Pensacola Road Course, which is the 20th race of the regular season. Milano will be coming back. We haven't gone there since 2017 either. That'll be an interesting road course, super speedway hybrid race, kind of like Papyrus in a way. Then we've got the Pukeca doubleheader. And then, Milano through to the end of the regular season is our 5-race international stretch, which we then end in Canada, Pigs Stadium and Pigs Creek, which will also host the All-Star weekend. Then it's on to the playoffs, starting it off with 2 dirt races, Island Rally and Bristol Dirt. There's no rounds this year, so it's kind of interesting how the playoffs roll. Darlington, 3rd race. Atlanta, the 4th. Armory Digital will be back this time in the playoffs as the 5th race. Papyrus will be the 6th. Memphis is the 7th race for Digital Storm, but the second to last race in Jerky Pro, so there'll be a 2-week break where Digital Storm Cup heads to Florida again to run at Homestead and Pensacola, and then both series return to end at Chicagoland. So, Vince, last year we had 37 Cup races, 27 truck races. This year we have 35 Cup races and 21 truck races. So there's 4 more weeks where Jerky Pro is not running with Cup. So it's going to be an interesting year, I think, especially for the guys running double duty.
Yeah, there's those off weeks. What do you do in those off weeks? You prepare? Do you go to the racetrack? I don't know. That's interesting. I think with this schedule, though, with there being no rounds, it's basically it's really a round, right? There's 9 races. You got to make sure you win. And there's Chicagoland where anything can happen. We got some new plays, like I said. I've never seen Milano, and I've never seen certain of these places. Should be fun. Pigs Creek. We were at Coca-Cola, I believe, last year for the All-Star race.
Yep.
Yep. We were drinking that Coca-Cola. Well, this time we're going to Pigs Creek. Should be interesting. Sebring is interesting. A lot of great tracks, a lot of mixes. I expected this to be a nice season, man. I really don't think there will be anything too shocking with the schedule, other than, like I said, a couple returning tracks, and Pigs Creek is a new one. Should be a fun one, and we'll go on from there.
All right, and that'll do it for our preview show here for Digital Storm Cup. Uh, Almost an hour, I think, so a little shorter than Jerky Pro. So I hope you guys enjoyed this little run through before the season. We're recording these on a Monday. I'll try to get them rendered and up for this weekend. And yeah, me and Vince are looking forward to the season starting. And the next thing we'll see you guys for is Daytona 500 pole qualifying. Since we've got people going home this year, the front row will lock in. Top 30 in points is all expected to be locked in regardless. And 12 of our 20 go-home drivers will be racing in dual races. Well, everyone's going to be in the dual races, but they'll be racing for spots in the 500 in the dual races. So anyway, we'll see you for Daytona 500Q next. That'll be 2 15-minute sessions of 25 cars each. And that'll kick off, Daytona weekend between the two series. So, Vince, I'm excited. How about you, man?
And as I famously said in the last video, this has been Vince Freeze, Zach Rogers, and we are signing off. We'll see you at the Daytona Beach Shores, Daytona Beach, Florida.
Peace.